Hello and welcome back to Champions and Beyond. We're continuing the series today, going through some older cards and deciding whether or not they should be reprinted or retired. So we're continuing on with the Captain America Hero Pack today. We're looking at the upgrades and the supports that came with Captain America. So there is one upgrade in his pre-con deck and two new supports. And let's have a look at the upgrade first. So the upgrade is a zero cost upgrade. It's Honorary Avenger. So title traded. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait attached to a friendly character. Attached character gets +1 hit points and gains the Avenger trait. Now, do I think this will come back? They have always enjoyed doing these honorary cards. However, the problem with this version is the fact that it doesn't contain the text max 1 per character. And I do believe in the rules reference guide, they did change it to include the text max 1 per character. So if they do decide, if they're doing a big Avengers push again at some point and they decide that they want to re-add this card back in, you look what we had so far. We've had the Honorary Avenger, Honorary Guardian, Honorary X-Men, and then we've had the X-Force Recruits, which kind of follows the same formula, I suppose. And because they've continued to make these throughout the cycle, I think that it is a card they enjoy having within the current environment. So I think that this one will get a remake, just with that new text added on, just to fix the issues that were brought up very early on. And for anybody that doesn't know the history of where that kind of came from, 4-player game with She-Hulk, who eventually we'll talk about. I can't remember if she came in Hulk or Thor, but I think I want to say thematically she'd go in with Hulk. I'm not 100% sure though. I need to double check that through. But yeah, 4-player game. Everyone ran 3 of these to boost her hit points up by an extra 12. And the She-Hulk ally deals damage equal to the amount of damage that's on her. So all of a sudden, I think she had like 5 health as well. So she's doing, even if just that base 12 and she's got 5 health left, she's doing 12 damage, then 13, 14, 15, and 16 before she gets defeated. So this is where the issue came from and where they had to change the wording on the card, because people found a way to break it very easily, sort of thing. Now, you had to be playing a 4-player game. You all had to kind of agree ahead of time that that's what you were going to try and do, and you had to make sure that the aggression player got out She-Hulk, or the leadership player managed to make the call for her and start that engine rolling. But it was a combo that did break the game very slightly early on anyway. So as I say, I think it'll be reprinted, but I do think it will actually be remade. So the first of the supports we're going to go on to is the Quinjet. That is the leadership support. So 1 cost support, Avenger and vehicle traded. Response: after your turn begins, place 1 time counter on Quinjet from your hand into play with a printed cost equal to or less than the number of time counters on Quinjet. Then discard Quinjet. So Quinjet isn't a particularly popular card, although I do think there are some really really good builds that it can be useful in. One cost support is, it's fairly cheap. It means that anybody can kind of play it. And I think it's those heroes that are poor on resources that actually really like Quinjet. Even if you look at a Hulk leadership, can get 2 of these out on 1 turn. With his 4 hand size, you pay the other 2 cards, you put up 2 Quinjets. And in 3 turns' time, if you draw into an ally that costs 3, even if it's a 2 cost ally, you can just play it for free, which allows you to then do something else on your turn, hopefully. Obviously, Hulk's a bit harder with his hand size, and it all depends on what else is in his hand. I really had a lot of fun using this when I did Hawkeye leadership a while back, and I ran Hawkeye leadership for a couple of months. Actually, I was really enjoying him. But with Hawkeye's resource generators for his arrows, you almost could guarantee that you could play an arrow every turn, and then your Quinjet will have built up over the course of a couple of turns to be able to put another ally out from your hand. Now, whether or not that's Mockingbird, and you're doing the Mockingbird recursion theme, or whether or not it was Falcon, who we spoke about in the last video, actually. Again, Falcon at the time was a really good option because it helped with the threat removal. So it allowed you to do several things on your turn because you had this support building up counters. Do I think it will come back? This is a really tough one for me because I would say yes. I think Avengers support wouldn't be uncalled for. Anybody likes Avengers, likes the Avengers supports that we've got. However, it's not a popular card, so I don't know whether or not it will. I actually think that it will be retired, which will be a shame because I do think there are some real. Yes, it's a niche place within a niche card game, but there are some real places for it within the game, and I don't see there being any problem with the card sort of as it stands. It's not most powerful, but you're not paying a bunch of resources for an uber powerful effect. So I think it's on a reasonable power level for sort of what they want to do in the future. But let me know in the comments below what you think. So the final card was a one-of, so it was a unique card, and it was Avengers Tower, so the 2 cost support. So now this image here has the Avenger trait. I actually think the one that came in the Captain America Hero Pack didn't have the Avenger trait. So when Team Building Exercise came out, you actually couldn't use it on the card that came in the Captain America Hero Pack. Now, Avengers Tower has been reprinted twice since, and those other 2 reprints did actually contain the Avenger trait. Now, we'll go back into the card. So Avenger and location traded is what this one says. I believe the one in the Captain America Hero Pack only said location traded. If each of your allies has the Avenger trait, increase your ally limit by 1. So great for Avengers builds, for all Avengers builds sort of thing. It discouraged you from playing Nick Fury and Maria Hill from the core set. But if you could get that team of Avengers out, then it was really good, and you could do this in any aspect because it is a basic support. It then acts as a resource generator. So action, exhaust Avenger's Tower, reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played this phase by 1, which was really good, especially when you have cards like Stinger or Blade that only cost 1. You can just play them for free. Even 2-cost allies like Squirrel Girl or Wonder Man that we've recently spoken about. You're paying them for 1 cost, which is phenomenal value, you know, even if it is just for a body to block. If you're the aggression player, playing Hulk for 1, and him potentially blocking 2 attacks because of his 5 health, or, you know, tearing the head off of a minion, whatever you want him to do. This is a good card. It has been reprinted, as I say, twice. I believe most recently was potentially Spectrum, with her leadership. And I only say that because I think they wanted it in the Mad Titans box to interact with the campaign and the tower defense scenario, because what is it that happens if the tower gets damaged? You can't use Avengers Tower for the rest of the campaign, or you can't use it for the next game, or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly. The last time I played Mad Titans, we actually weren't playing Avengers, so we didn't have to worry about that sort of thing. But I do think that was the last time it was reprinted, so it is still falling into that area of potential retirement. However, like I've said, I think Avengers, if we do see an influx of Avengers again, which is very much possible, and if they're going to start reprinting stuff like Hulk and Captain America and Doctor Strange, like they've said, there's no reason why they wouldn't reprint this card. And I don't think it makes sense to leave this, or you know, leave it out of the current environment and get rid of it. So, but as I said before, let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear from any of you. Thank you very much for watching. Please give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below. You know where it is. You're on YouTube. You know how this works. But it does help me out, and I really do appreciate the people that have watched the first 2 videos in this series. So thank you very much. And until next time, happy gaming.